Hey there guys, welcome to my channel. This is the first official video of Bauer Plays It Cities Skylines 2. I'm new to Cities Skylines 2, but not the Cities Skylines franchise. So I hope you enjoy this content. I hope you watch it through. I hope you learn something new, and I hope you can teach me something new as well. Maybe there's some tips and tricks that I just don't know about, and you can help me out with that. We're going to start a new city. I'm going to play on easy because this is the first time I've played it. Maybe we can get into it a little bit more. Now I'm going to play a custom map that I have downloaded. I've taken a look at and I really like it. It's called Seabury Sound by Birds. So we're going to go ahead and select this map and might as well name us Seabury. So let's go ahead and start this game. Okay, so we are into our map here. It's a beautiful map, lots of trees, lots of landscape. It is quite a large map, so I mean you can see this entire thing right here. It looks like lots of land to build out onto, a little bit of a hilly terrain, but we'll not quite as much down here, but it does get a little bit hilly, not mountainous, so that's interesting. And then of course we have the sound right here, giant sound here, a little bit of barriers for any ship cargo coming in through, and a little bit of a stream river-ish area. That one ends up there. This one kind of continues all the way to the end of the map. So good terrain here, something well to work with. We've got a couple of lakes here at the top. And then we just have this one one lane highways cutting through our parcel right now, and then the major interstate area, and then a train connection that is not connected to our part of the map yet. So we'll have to get some zoning permits, some more map tiles to get out into there so we can bring some of that in. I am playing with some mods, some basic mods, so we'll just go ahead and get started into here. First thing I want to do is just take a look at what we have and what we could build out. I think I want to bring in a port here. We're going to have a big shipping yard and use our bridges and ports expansion to really build out a nice port over here. I would like our main city to be in this middle section here. So as ships are coming through, they're passing through our main city and bring this out in this area right here. Over here we could have, you know, some residential. We'll have maybe some more industry, maybe some touristy areas out here on the capes and stuff. And then out here, I mean, farmland. But let's look at our resources. So natural resources, there's nothing really like heavy. So let's go ahead and uncheck everything. Obviously fish population, yeah, there's fish out there, there's water. Ore deposits, we've got some ore deposits, nothing like super heavy. I mean, you're looking at 3,000. We have one little slightly larger ore deposit down here, which could be looked at. Let's look at our oil. We've got one area really. I mean, there's oil everywhere, but I've seen other maps where there's more ore, and we do get quite a bit right here. So that could be interesting depending on how the wind is blowing. Land fertility, not as fertile as I would have expected it to be. There is some fertile land, some more than others, spread out through the region, but there's not like heavy pockets very large, except for out here, which looks like honestly they've built out 4 farms. So eventually we might be able to get out here on this break off in this highway, build out some farming out here. But that might be a little bit, we might have to also do it a little bit earlier depending on when we want to really get going on this. So really not a ton of natural resources where it's like, oh my god, this is why we came to Seabury, this is why we founded this city, because of this specific resource. Obviously there's wood, So I guess if we really wanted to get into it, we can harvest this wood. Let's look at this error. Oh no. So, oh no. So oil here. Okay, great. It's going to push right out to our city. It's going to push right out into our city, and that does not look great. It doesn't. So maybe we don't go oil, because we can't really extract that oil because it's just going to blow pollution our way, and that's not a great look for a city that's just dying because of the oil industry. So we might have to investigate some of that a little bit later. But let's go ahead and start thinking about our current tile. What I want to do here, and before we end this video, I want to take our milestones. I want to get to Grand Village at least. So we'll get through the first 3 and get to the 4th milestone before we are done here. So today's video is going to be all about setting up services, setting up a grid, getting our basic zoning down. If you look at through some of this, right now we have electricity and water, but we can eventually get to some of the medium density, some of our farming, larger roads, and healthcare and death care. That's the first milestone in garbage management. Then we'll get to the small village where we will then get the education, which I want to get started quickly. Then a large village will bring in fire and rescue and police and administration. And then the grand village will allow us to create districts and really get things going and named. It'll add transportation, parks and recreation, and different city services as well. So let's get started on our grid. What I want to do here, industry is really big on shipping, obviously. So I want to bring our industry along here, maybe create a small little port here to start with. Thinking a small port because it's got to fit under this bridge. So we're thinking small little boats. Obviously, this is a fake port. It's not going to be actually shipping out of it, but I want to create a little port area to get going. And then I want to have the most of everything else here out in the open. Try to save some of these trees, build around the trees for now, use the topography. And then eventually I want to use this area as like a nice little suburban neighborhood. Think of like a nice homes on a lake. We could even use this out here too and get to some more of these lakes, but I want to use these lakes more as suburban neighborhoods rather than other things. So let's look at this topography as we get started. Okay, so we got some hilly areas. They put us right onto a hill. So not a flat surface, so we'll have to work around that, but it should be fine. So let's start out here. I want to start out a basic grid out here, or basic outline for some stuff. I'm going to actually do a little bit of terraforming and bring some of this out so I can build out a port. I'm thinking if it comes out this way, maybe it just goes straight in. I mean, we have lots of, it's not like we're expecting a lot of currents to come all the way up here. So we could really just bring this right in and come out. So I'm going to do some terraforming out here. Get this nice and flat. And then don't worry, we'll remove that water very soon and make some of this hilly again. So, okay, let's get a little base structure out. I'm going to pause this because as soon as I start building roads, we're going to start spending money and I don't want to lose money to start off. Let's actually clear out some of these trees. I know I just said preserve as many trees as possible, and then just immediately started removing all the trees. So, okay, we're going to bring out this port. I'm going to go a little bit long here. Cut this out. And I think I'm going to bring in a little bit of a inlet here. Not an inlet, but you know what I mean. I think. Hopefully you know what I mean. That might be a little bit too narrow. Node there. Delete. Delete. And then bring that up there. Okay. So I'm actually gonna put this down. Okay. That's pretty basic right there. Okay. And now we are going to I don't want anything like super heavily crazy. So it's this is gonna be very, very basic right now. We don't really have any services right now, so this is gonna be a little bit tougher. We do have these key roads. I don't really love the key roads. I know they're supposed to look nice, but when you add other roads to it, then it starts looking weird. But we will use it for now because I don't have the ability to do the keys naturally. So I'm going to bring this out here. Was that even a 90? I didn't even look. 91. That's a 90. Oh, that's gross. That's fine. It's fine, right? No, it's not. I'm gonna just bring this out just a little bit, and then there, and then now we'll take that up. Okay, cool, 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 cool. So we've got a little bit of a base step. This is going to be where the water is coming in. We are gonna drag this out just a little bit so we have a little bit more space, and then we will do a little bit of road layout. So bring this out here. My expectation is to just continue like these roads up. So I will get these started and then we will come back when that part of the map opens up for us. So let's go ahead and get some of these connected here. That's connected. Connected. That we're going to use the complex curve. So click once, twice, connect. And this is also going to be a complex curve. Once, twice, click. Okay, all of those roads are connected up. Now we're going to actually upgrade these to a key. We're going to do, these are the same. It's just how do you want those ribs? I guess we're going to do this one. And upgrade some of this to a key. Now, if I'm not mistaken, also, I still have to be able to make it a key. Like this doesn't just automatically become one, unfortunately. So like if I started terraforming this right now, let's take this height. Oh, no, this height. It's still going to show that. So the issue here is that I'm going to have to either cheat the system, and by cheat the system, I mean use this key here to do that, or I just wait a little bit and get road services immediately. But I'm going to, oh, see, this is the problem, is that it's so finicky on what side it's placing it on. But I can do that. That's fine. And immediately again, already regretted. So that's one way you can kind of cheat the system a little bit, is by using these features. I think it's probably in a mod, to be honest. I don't know if it's in a vanilla. So this is why I don't like this feature, is because even though this is it, this is going to look really weird because of this incoming road. If I removed this little bit of road, it doesn't look like that anymore. So let me just take that there, remove that. Boom, it's there. It's fixed. Like, come on, man. Make it look pretty all the way around. So I guess I don't like that. So I think what I'm going to do is just bring a little bit of a road out here so I can get a little bit of extra zoning. Right there. And we'll just end it as is. Okay, let's get back into upgrading these. I think I picked that one. Boom. But nope. See? Did it again. Same issue there. And then let's see. We are going to bring the water up here and then it's going to taper off. So, okay. Now we can go ahead and start terraforming this. Take the bottom of that water. And that's not really that tall, is that? I mean, I guess it's a shallow bay. So, yeah. And this is already, the nice thing about these the automatic keys is that you don't have to be as precise with it because it already gives you that level. You just can't go over the road like that. So I'm going to go into a time lapse here, finish this up, and then we'll get this filled with water and start start building out the layout for the rest of the city. Okay, so that is going to start our basic grid here. There's a couple more additions that I can do here just by throwing that there. Now, I want to talk about major roads, arterials, connectors, all those sorts. Yeah, I'm not a city planner. I don't know all the exact terms. I'll pick them up. I'm sure I will pick them up. But I know you need to have some of these. So we have one major road that's coming from the highway all the way down to this little road here, which we are currently calling it Caraway Street. And then we've got Cooperfield Street. These will definitely change as we get things figured out. But I want to also have one that's going to go across, go the other way as well. So I actually want to send a one-way both ways. So we're actually going to send this way. Nope, I don't want to do it on that street. I want to do it on this street. One way there and a one way this way. And generally those probably should be a lot closer. So what I'm going to do here is just change this because we can. And money is infinite. I'm just going to do one of these numbers and go to 90. Boom. And then we're just going to go ahead and delete that street. It's fine. It's not a perfect grid anymore, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's cool. Not everything has to be absolutely perfect, right? In fact, we'll probably end up getting different alleyways through here, creating little different neighborhoods in each of these blocks as well. So we've got that going down. We've got one going across. Now what I want to do is just add one more, and that's going to be right up here where we're going to take this down, because if we are thinking about the least traveled distance, it's going to be them coming in and boom, right in this way. And that is immediately going to get hit. So what I'm going to do is just upgrade this to a 2-lane both ways all the way down and end it there into Caraway Street. So, and we could think about that going this way as well. I'm not as concerned this side, I don't know, but guess I'll just go ahead and do that too. And that'll start the basis of our city. And yeah, in fact, I'm going to actually bump that back down to a one-way. We're going to turn off snapping so we can get centered and go from there. Nope, not a one-way, a one-lane. Boom. So we got that. Okay. So now we are going to get into our services. We need to supply electricity and water so that we can actually do things. And here that we have quite a bit of wind, 6 megawatts. So, which is the maximum. So what I'm going to do here is actually get this set up and probably over here. Good area. All of this is getting at 6. I actually want to kind of leave it still in the city-ish area. So I'm going to put it out here. And it's not going to take very long. So I'm going to go ahead to use all this. So I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade it now. I know I'm going to take a hit. I get it. But we will quickly make that back as soon as we start pulling in taxes. And I'm going to throw this underground so that I can go ahead and connect it up. And I'm going to connect it in 2 different areas just in case. So that is now connected. No, it is not. Actually, I have to connect it. Now it's connected. That's embarrassing. Don't look at that. So we have that connected. We have power connected. Now water, there's different options. We have the pumping station, which brings in a ton of water, 26 million gallons per month. Then we have some smaller options. Now, the thing with a lot of these is that you will have to place this and the sewage outlet. So ideally, you're putting the sewage outlet downstream from the water that you're taking in. So you'd want to put like your pumping station down here and your sewage down. Well, actually, it's kind of stagnant. Never mind. This water literally does not really move. Correct. Okay, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But regardless, what I want to do, and I just realized there's some trees still underwater. Good job. Don't look at that. Okay, what I want to do is actually build this French pumping station, the French water tower, because I can actually upgrade this to include sewage. So what I'm going to do here is actually set up a little service road. Go back here. I'm going to place this water tower, and then I'm actually going to place a little cul-de-sac there in the end. And we're going to place the water tower right on top. So I'm going to go and turn off anarchy. What am I doing? Boom. Okay, so now it looks like a fancy little lighthouse, but not a lighthouse. It's a water tower. It's fine. And what we are going to do here is upgrade it to add a filtration system. So now we have sewage and water coming out of the same place. So now that that's done, I'm going to actually just add a little bit of parking here. I just realized I destroyed that, so that's cool. I hate these keys. I hate them so much that I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I cannot look at that. You're just gonna have to go around. I cannot look at that. But I'm gonna add some parking there as well. So what we're gonna do is just upgrade a little bit of parking here. Just to throw some parking out there, because why not? Maybe we can put a little park out here and make it look like it's intentional. So we got water, we have sewage, and we have electricity. Now all we need is people. So we're going to start with the reason why people are coming out here, and that's for jobs. And because wind is blowing in that direction, I don't like it. I have a mod from Paradox Mods that, or PDX Mods, that allows clean industrial manufacturing and clean warehouse. Obviously, you can have your dirty industrial manufacturing, but this clean industrial manufacturing is just pollution free, which is nice. So that's great. It can only process convenience foods, timber, paper, furniture, electronics, pharmaceuticals, beverages, and textiles. Whereas this is your standard factory, warehouse, and storage yards. So I'm gonna do this here at least because I want the main city area, the main area in general, to be more clean rather than dirty jobs. So I will focus that on this area, and we'll get that all textured up. And I'm just gonna zone this as is at the moment, and we'll see if we can clean some stuff up. Next up, we are going to do residential. So actually, let's go ahead and just hit play. We'll let that start populating in. Now, I don't want to put residential right next to the industrial, but I don't want to put it too far away. I do want the jobs to be easy to get to. I want to start off with some of these Netherlands low density housing. I do think these look cool. They usually come in 1x2, 2x2s, etc. And these do end up looking pretty nice as they level up. So, but what I want to do, I don't want to just do level 2s all the way around. So I'm going to create a little different little pockets of neighborhoods. So coming off this main area, we're actually going to go here. We're going to go here. So what I'm going to do here is set up a couple different neighborhoods. And I'm going to include parking for them as well. And we'll do double parking. So we're going to go 2 out. This is going to look really narrow, and that's because it really is. We'll go 2 more. So 4 in between. Boom. And then we'll call that a day right there. We'll get some housing in there. And then we'll do some other standard looking housing. Now problem here is that we're still not, I still don't have my, I can't get what I need right now. So I want to be able to use key walls to easily be able to do this. So what I'm going to do is just continue mapping out some of the neighborhood. We'll do that. We'll get to the first level up and go from there. And just like that, we are at Tiny Village, where we got $150,000. We got 5 development points and 3 expansion permits. This allows a lot of different things: loan limit increases, map tiles, city budget, taxation, city statistics, service budgets, all the density medium density row housing, mining, farming, more roads, healthcare and death care, garbage management. But the important thing is that now we have points, and I can spend development points on advanced road services. So now I can easily make some changes here. So what we're going to do is, I know I just zoned all of this, and I hate to be that bearer of bad news for all these people, but I don't like the way that everything is sitting. And in fact, I just wanted to get everybody in here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. We're actually going to destroy every last one of these homes. I just needed people in here to get some points. So we're going to go ahead and pause so we don't absolutely wreck our town, but we're going to delete all of this. because what we're going to do is actually focus where I was at earlier. So we're going to go here, and just so we can fix the zoning, I'm going to put it along these roads so that we can get accurately get good zoning done here. We're going to go ahead and add some of these. Okay, so now that that's all building out, that is going to end up looking good. We're going to try to keep this passageway open and maybe make it some green space. Maybe we'll end up taking a train right down the middle of it. But we're going to keep it open for the moment. Now, this industry looks absolutely disgusting because I don't know why this is not filling, but it's not. So what we're going to do is just try to see if we can trick it. Can we do that? Nope, maybe not. So there's a lot of empty space. This doesn't look great. This is the problem with some vanilla, like, what? Like, why? Let's remove that. See if I can destroy that and get a bigger building. There we go. This is really awkward. Let's see if I can just remove all that. Destroy that. Can we get better zoning in there? If not, what we can do is use platter, which is another mod. This is an alpha, beta testing, or oh, not that many. Single. And let's put a 4x4 in there. Maybe a 2x2. Probably fit all 4 of those in there. So now let's just move those 3. Platter is really nice if you haven't used it because you can actually just go in there and change the zoning yourself. And I know that was literally basically the exact same zoning. So we're going to move you over and see if we can get anything else over there. Does not look like it. This is just really ugly zoning. Truthfully, like I've never seen the zoning like this bad. But what we're going to do here is add some surfaces and just kind of clean this up, make it look nice. But that's going to be a future episode when we clean up what the port is going to look like. We'll get this a little bit zoned better. Right now, we just want to set up city services, which the next thing here is going to be adding a small medical clinic. Turn snapping back on. We're going to go ahead and add it near the zone, industrial zone, but also near the housing, the residential. So we have that. I'm not going to worry about death care yet, although there's already 3 deaths. Oh, this is not already good. Okay, great. So looking at these, we've got the UK Parish Church, which is a rather small object. It looks like a castle. Cool. Only adds 100 storage capacity for 5,500 for almost 3 times the amount, but way more storage than needed. We have the Netherlands Cemetery, which is a larger asset. We have the small. We also have the large cemetery, which, don't get me wrong, cool, but not for this space. Too big for the city. It's literally the entire size of the city. We're gonna do this small cemetery where it's only $500 more than the parish church, but it adds 15 times the amount of storage space capacity. So we're gonna take this and we are going to add it in here somewhere. One of these blocks that fits. This kind of fits. I could adjust some zoning. Can adjust a road over here. Go 1 more back. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna destroy Fieldcrest. Take this 1 step back, and then I can very snugly throw the small cemetery in here on right next to Cozy Lane. So we got our little cemetery there. We'll see how long that stays there. We might end up moving it later. But now I want to continue on with zoning. I'm going to fix the zoning here because I know this is going to not be the... I wish that was going to be 3. Okay, so what we're going to do here is cheat the system just ever so slightly. Back. Boom. Right there. Okay, so does that really mess things up? Not terribly. Okay. I'm going to get some more medium density in there. And then we're going to take this on further and get some more medium density in there. Hopefully facing the right way. Are these all? Yes, they are all facing the correct way. Good. Good. Finally. And let's downgrade that. Okay. So we have our residential going. We need low density. We have all medium. Well, we have low density here, I guess, with the parking and everything. These really just look like apartment buildings. It's kind of funny. But these will actually end up looking nice. So I want to build out some neighborhoods, some pocket neighborhoods, and that's probably going to be on the other side of Cooper's Field, where it's a little quieter. And we're going to do just some general zoning here. So we've got these streets. I want to go ahead and I'm going to downgrade some of these streets probably and do some alleyways. Actually, what I'm going to do here is create some alleyways off of these streets, leave these major corridors open, and I'm going to just take alley right down the center. Then I'm going to take one right through the middle. And what we're going to do here, since we have these services open, I'm going to turn off stoplights there. And we're going to turn off or remove the crosswalks so that it just ends out there. Okay. So now let's fix the zoning with some key walls. I want this all in the inner streets. More focused on the alleyways, not so much the actual lanes or streets. I want these more on the lanes. So now that the zoning has been fixed and should be appropriate almost. Yes. Okay. We can come through here and start adding some zoning. So I'm going to start with North American low density. We're going to just add a couple here and here. I'm going to add some spaces in between because I'm going to come back with other zoning types. But we'll get a variety of different size homes by doing this. Ooh, didn't like that. And now we're going to come back through with some UK. And we'll start our neighborhoods out like that. And then I'm going to remove these keys from each of the roads, just so it doesn't look so weird. And just like that, small village. So let's look at our progression panel here. We have another $300,000, 6 more development points, 4 more expansion permits. Our loan limit is increased. production panel comes up. We have more medium density housing, actual like larger medium density housing. We've got textile fiber farming, education and research. So we can actually start placing down our schools now. Let me finish doing this little bit. We have some extra zoning here that we might be able to utilize as well. Okay, so what we're going to do here, get rid of this zoning, is place down our first school. So we are going to go with a elementary school. And if we look at our statistics and our demographics, you can see things. That's not what I wanted. So if we look at our age distribution here, you can see that 11.5% are children, so roughly 15% almost of our whole whopping 653 people are children, which means we don't really need a lot. 75 are eligible for elementary school, 200 and rising are eligible for high school. However, we don't want to be playing this game forever. So let's get this, and by this game, I mean the education game here. Let's get these set right from the beginning. So I'm going to take this Netherlands Elementary School. Really like this asset. It looks really nice. And I'm going to place it along Cooperfield Street. Actually, I'm going to place it on this side of Cooperfield Street, right in the center. And this is going to be a little bit of an education hub. So we've got the elementary school here. And right across the street, we are going to do a high school. So we are going to do we'll do the modern high school, 1750. So just kidding, it won't fit. I don't want to turn it, I want it to face. The Mediterranean high school adds 800 eligibility. Sure, let's do this one. Let's get that placed right. Oh, just as I was about to click, it turned on me. Get that placed right there. Okay, so now we got our two main schools here. That is not even. Like that. Okay, so our two schools have been placed. We've got those. We're going to go ahead and just name these after the city. So we will do Seabury High School. And if I could spell that correctly, or correctly, yeah. And these will probably change based off of the district names, but this is what we're going to start with. We got our two schools in place. That is not greatly leveled. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do here is destroy that street. And we're going to come up here. No, hello. I'm going to adjust this terrain just a little bit. It's not great. It's not great. Okay. Flatten that out just a little bit. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Maybe. Should have probably looked at the terrain before I did this. That's significantly better. It's not great, but it's significantly better. Okay, so we are still apparently losing population. So now we've got still lots of demand. Obviously, people want to live here. We only have 652 people. We're going to do a couple of larger housing projects. I want to do it kind of closer to the base. As you can see, we need workers. So I'm going to add some medium density housing, which I do not really know well on the sizes of these lots. So what we're going to do is unzone both of those. Oh, hello. Let's not destroy our city here. Our beautiful, beautiful city. The German style. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. That's pretty large. Do some there. Do some French. We're just gonna play around with some of this, see what some of these assets look like, and see what we end up want to go with, because I might destroy all of this. So we'll get some medium density in there. We have some ability to do some stuff in here. But let's keep focusing out here. Let's do some more of these neighborhoods. Maybe some smaller homes, slightly smaller homes. Oh, we're losing people. No, 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 we're not doing that. So our next progression milestone comes to fire and rescue and the police administration. So we're going to do a little bit of time lapse. I'm going to zone out everything, get this nice and set, and that way we can just come right in and get to our next progression. So I will see you at the next progression. And just like that, we are at milestone 3, large village, where we get 450,000 extra dollars, 8 more development points, and 5 expansion permits, and includes everything that we already have discussed. As you might have seen, I did a little bit of more, barely any more development out here, added some more medium density row housing, and I was just adding some signature buildings to kind of fill out this square and get this a little bit more going here. So just go ahead and slightly adjust some of this and add into here. So we've got a little alleyway with some parking and some commercial areas there. We might add like a little park here once we are able to add some parks, and add a little pocket park. So this area is starting to thrive. This area is starting to get nice and going. We just need to add probably some commercial down here, where I will go ahead and just zone some commercial, do some mixed commercial here. And let that fill in on Kingsbury Street. So that'll be at the bottom of the hill there. In this little corner here, we will probably add another park to make this look a little bit more extended. So that will come soon. We have our medical clinic and, of course, our port facility. I'm not in love with this. I'm not going to lie. The port itself, I like. This, So let's go ahead and add our fire and our police station so we can get closer to our next grand village and call it a wrap on this episode. So I'm going to start off kind of smaller. We don't really need anything crazy. I'm going to do this $120,000 firehouse with $5,000 a month upkeep. And we're going to go ahead and place that kind of close to the center of the city, more towards the schools. So that would be important there. And then add our police station. I'm going to do something also fairly simple. We don't need anything crazy. It is still a rather small city. And in fact, I might just do this. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it right there. I know I said I was going to put a park there, but parks, police, they're the same thing, right? Yeah. So that's that. So there's those. Now we have some specialized industry, more specialized industry, which again we talked about, or is going to have to be kind of way out there, not necessarily directly in the middle here. So we kind of have two different sides of the city going. I would really like to start filling some of this stuff in. So let's get more residential in here, and I'm just going to do some quick zoning because this will all get upzoned. We will literally upzone every last bit of this later on. I do not foresee all of this staying. I just honestly really want to get the population in here. So we'll go ahead and I just no. I made a massive mistake and started doing medium density row housing everywhere. Everywhere. Although, I kind of don't mind it there, but I'm gonna get rid of it still. All right, let's take this, try this one again. We're gonna just do North American low density everywhere that I just did previously. So all of those blocks will just get North American low density, and that is fulfilling that. Let's get some, commercial going here. We're gonna do it on this side of Kingsbury. Again, a lot of this will get upzoned, so I'm not certainly concerned about what's going in here yet, but let that drive demand down. And we need to fill this medium density, which I'm going to do some of this Mediterranean housing. See if that'll fit there. Yep. There. We'll take some larger blocks here as well. Let that fill itself in. This doesn't have to be pretty to start off with. And let's just watch it do its thing. Okay, so yeah, our suburban life is out here now. We have our medium density and our low density. It's very segmented. We have our industry down here. We've got some medium density housing going on around here. This is the Netherlands medium density, which honestly doesn't look bad. Honestly, there's a little courtyard here. We can put in some parking. These, I like this building. The French one. It looks nice. I wish it looked like the rest of here. So that's Eastern European. And then we have the UK. So what actually I like. And then this stuff is the German. That's a nice German one. We got French. Okay, so I like what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do a little movement. We're going to destroy these. I'm actually going to take this one over here with some movement magic. Turn that so it's right on the corner here. We're going to take these two, move them down here. Voila. We're going to remove that. Remove that. Delete, delete, delete. I'm actually going to copy this, put it down a couple times, and then we're going to copy this one. And no, we're not. Well, it's the corner right. I need the corner L. This is level 1. We want level RRRL. Boom. Okay, so now we're going to take the recolor mod, take that, and you can't really color that. Cool, that's awesome. Okay, these are apparently all colored the same. And that's You know what? Just because I liked it, we're going to... too bad I can't just literally copy and paste the whole set. And we'll just have a little courtyard in the middle. An unofficial courtyard in the middle. And actually, you know what? Can I? Would that look really dumb? Probably, right? Yeah. We'll just do right down the middle. That's fine. Okay, so I wanted to do a little bit of parking here. Right? I can remove that. And add a little bit of parking. These are too big. Too small. Come on, man. I could... So disappointing. Why? I don't want to have to do a... Disappointing. So I'm going to have to destroy you. Okay. Well, at least something will build there. So a little bit of parking there. They've got some little room in there. And I wish something would fill in there. Actually, you know what? Something will fill in there. We'll just copy this. Nope, not the crane. That will turn it to be right there. And boom. Not going to go heavily on details again because we are going to end up probably demolishing almost every last bit of this eventually. And this is supposed to be a quick, easy one. We're not going to get into super detailing. I do just want to make sure things look right though. So we'll do a little bit of recoloring here, kind of try to clean some of this up. Make that all look nice and neat. So we've got some good medium density stuff going here right next to the industrial zone. We do have some commercial. And just like that, we are at Grand Village for $600,000 extra dollars. We get a bunch of signature buildings, $600,000, 9 development points, 6 expansion permits, and we can start creating districts. That's the biggest thing. Policies, natural disasters, low rent housing, the oil drilling, low density offices. That's going to be a big thing as well. And then we have added our transportation modules, and parks and recreation. So we've got a bunch of stuff to be added now. Like we can add some offices in between some of this so we can break up some of that noise and just kind of add a natural zoning buffer. And then transportation and all the leisure and everything like that. So we can add some of this stuff in our next episode. What I'm going to just do as we close up is set a couple of districts here. So we have our first port, and that road is a little funky. We're going to have to clean that up. So we have the port. And that is not going to be called Springtown. So that's just going to get fixed. And we're actually going to bring this down the water because it's going to include some of that too. Okay, so there's the port. We have our giant residential area, which is a giant square Coolridge Mills. Yeah, okay. Then we're going to take this area, Emerson Field, and then we're going to take this whole area. We're going to turn off snapping, but snap to the roads. And that's going to be an area. And then we've got some commercial over here that we will inevitably put in its own little district. And yes, we will drag this down. Okay, so we've got 5 zones here. This is going to get renamed. This is going to be now Seabury Port. Seabury Port. And then the other 4 names, we will probably end up coming up with better names for those over time. But right now they are placeholders, so it's fine. But hey, this is the first installment of this series of the Seabury series. We have a little bit over 1,900 residents, over 28 $2.8 million. We are gaining quite a bit of money per the hour, so that's great. We are in a great spot for the next episode, where we will get to Big Town, and then we'll start, once we get through some of this, we will start working on some of the nitty gritty, some of the projects. We'll get more into the detailing. We'll get Coolridge Mills figured out, where it's not just a big suburban wasteland. We'll get our port figured out, and we will get some of these neighborhoods cleaned up. We'll start getting some history in there. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe, like, all of the things as you do. And until next one, I will see you later.